Here we are simulating through the off season. We had a big year, but there's no real important movement for this off season. So we're just going to simulate it. As always, we're just going to have to simulate the preseason because again, I am a star, so there's no point in going through training camp. Let's make sure the team is still the same. I mean, free agency and the draft and everything happened. So we still have Charlie Fry, me, Kellen Winslow. We got some receiver. I mean, basically the same team. All right, so let's just go. There's no point to hang around too much at all. Every year is going to be the same formula. I'm going to simulate the first 8 games, look at what the record is. So that's the first 4 right there. That's the next 3. And then the 8th game is going to be after Chicago going to Baltimore. And I'm just going to keep simulating it that way to see what record we have. Right now, we have a better team. We have like a 99 receiver. The quarterback's a 92. He doesn't play like it, but he's a 92. And then I'm a 99. So we have a good team. We should be in the playoffs every year. So I'm going to simulate it up into this Ravens game. And then we'll look at the record. If we're having a good season, we'll probably play the playoff game. If we're having a bad season, then I'm just scrap it. I mean, there's no point. So we're going to simulate here to the Ravens game. We're to the Ravens game. So we have to look at what the season has gone like so far, and we are 3-5. We've lost 4 in a row, so that means we started like 3-1. 3-1 at home and haven't won a game on the road. Stats wise, let's see where I am. So Charlie Fry is doing really good. He only has 4 interceptions. So I don't know. Ooh, I'm doing horrible. I have 783 yards with 4 touchdowns. I mean, I'm averaging 5.8 a carry, 97, 98 a game. I don't know. That's really weird. Through 8 games, I'm barely at 100 a game. So I'm just going to have to, at this point, continue the simulation. Because, I mean, at 3-5, yeah, maybe we could make the playoffs, but if we lose 2 games, it's over with. And we've lost 4 in a row. So I don't know, maybe somebody's hurt. I didn't see. So I'm just going to continue to simulate this game at this point. And that's going to be to January. I simulated the rest of the season. So now we have to go look at how the season actually went. We started off horribly at 3-5. And we're going to end the season at 6-10. We had a great offensive season with 6,800 yards. Not so much on the defensive side. And then we lost the turnover battle, -2. And then stats-wise individually, Charlie Fry did good. 3,900 yards, 35 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then 1,800, okay. I mean, I don't know how we lost so many games. So I had almost 30 less carries than last year, but I still had 288 carries, 6.3 yards per rush. So I went up again. I had 114.6 yards a game, so I went back down. I had 1,834 yards, which is second lowest of my career. I had 15 touchdowns, which is the highest of my career. And then my longest run went down again to 30. Receiving wise, I had 44 receptions, so I went down 487 yards, went down 11 yards per reception. I had a career high 6 touchdowns though, and then 45 yards for my longest. So, I mean, rushing wise, I took a step forward touchdown wise, but I can't really say so much it was my fault that we lost. Don't look like it. Still had a great season because, I mean, even though 1,800 was a step back technically, come on, 1,800 yards. And I still don't understand what it takes to make the Pro Bowl because how did I have 15 touchdowns this year? Still didn't make the Pro Bowl. With that being said, obviously at 6-10, we're not in the playoffs, so I'm going to simulate the rest of this fourth season. I'm not saying the fourth season didn't matter, but it's the same formula I've been using before. I mean, in the last 2 years, we won and we started off 6-2. I didn't try to manipulate it or anything, so I'm just going to keep simulating here to the off season. I don't mind, like I said, not having to play as many games because, yeah, there's going to be a long career. So if I could get out of having to play 4 games a year for 10 years, 15 years, yeah, I'm trying to do that. All right, so we're going to simulate to the next part. I mean, and it's the Browns, bro, so however the season go, don't surprise me either which way. Again, it's the Browns, so the only thing that's surprising is when you make it all the way to like the AFC Championship game. I mean, other than that, it's the Browns, so it's not really surprising either which way. So I'm going to simulate the offseason. So we have to go make sure they did not shake up the roster too much. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We only won, 6 games, so maybe. And I was thinking, yeah, we only lost Joe Juravicious. I mean, I like him, but I don't really care for him either way. All right, so, I mean, what am I going to complain about? We barely lost just one dude who wasn't really that crucial. So we're gonna simulate training camp. This is going to be a big year for me, though, because this is a contract year. This is year 3. So it's going to be the same routine. We're going to simulate the first 8 games, and that's going to be, let's see. So this is the first 3. This is the next 4. So we're going to simulate till after the Saints game. First game against the, well, not first game, but to the game against the Bills. And for me, this is a very important year. I don't know how, but I need to have at least another 1,800 and another 15 touchdowns because this is contract year for me. Here at the Bills game, and we are, again, 3-5. I don't understand why we're 3-5, but we are. We're here at the Bills game, and right now we are 3-5. Again, I don't know what it is. We have 3,400 yards offensively, but again, 3,000 yards defensively. So maybe that's why. We lost 1. Last year we were really good on the at home, I think. We were like 5-1 at home or something like that. I don't remember. Not this year. Stats wise for me, I am, well, Charlie Fry is 12-2, so he's doing good. I have 884 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6.2 yards a carry, 110 yards a game, 1 fumble. 54 yards is my longest. So with this 12 touchdowns, I would be pissed if I'm not a all-pro Pro Bowler this year. This is ridiculous because I have 12 and my career high is 15. So I'm doing my part touchdown-wise. Yards per game-wise. 1 fumble. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue to simulate the rest of the season. The crazy part, too, is I know it's not about, like, the team at all when it's, like, Pro Bowl or not. So let's simulate and see. All right, I simulated the rest of the season. Let's go look at how it went. I think we might have done just as bad as last year, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Yep, we went 6-10. We gained 6,400 yards, and then we gave up 6,100 yards. The reason why I knew we would do that is because the first 2 years that we did good, we went 6-2, 6-2, and then we ended up 10-6. So now these last 2 years, I figured it. We went 3-5, 3-5. We're gonna finish 6-10. So Matt Schaub ended up playing because Charlie Fry got hurt. They basically had the same season. Matt Schaub a little bit better because he has the 2 less interceptions, but I think he played less games than me. I mean, I took a step back, but again, 284 carries, so I'm going back down. 6.2 yards per rush, 110 yards a game, going back down again. 1,773 yards, again, regressing. But for the second straight year, or for again in my career, I had 21 touchdowns, career high. Longest of 54 yards. Receiving, I had 40 receptions, went down. I simulated the rest of the season. Let's go look at how the season went. I have a feeling I know how it went, just because this team likes to do the same thing 2 years in a row, and I'll explain why. I simulated the rest of the season, so we have to go look at how the season ended. I have a feeling I know how it ended, just because this team likes to do the same thing twice. Yep. So we started 3-5 2 years in a row, and we ended 6-10 2 years in a row. And I say that because 4 years ago, I think we started 6-2, and then 3 years ago we started 6-2, and then both years we ended 10-6. So basically, do the same thing 2 years in a row. And then so this year we gained 6,400 yards, but we gave up 6,100, and then we lost a turnover battle by 5. I mean, that kind of explains it if we lost a turnover battle. So individual stats, looks like Charlie Fry got hurt. Matt Schaub came in, basically had the same amount of touchdowns, less interceptions, a better QBR, more sacks, same completion percentage. And I guess Charlie Fry played less games, so that kind of shows you where he is. He played less games and had almost twice as many yards. Then for me, 17, I just took a step back. So I had 284 carries, 4 less, 6.2 yards per rush, same as always, 110 yards per game, 1,773, 21 touchdowns, which is my career high, better than last year by 6. 54 was my longest run. Receiving, 40 receptions, 4 less than last year, 494 yards. That is more than last year. 12.3 yards per reception, more than last year, and then 5 touchdowns again. So every year I'm going to give you 2,000 yards from scrimmage, and then now this year we went all the way up by having another season over 20 with 26 total. Last year I had 21. So I mean, I kind of took a step back, but my yards per rush is the same. So I don't know how you could say I took a step back. I don't know what it is. Like, yards per rush is the same, but obviously if I have less carries, then that's going to impact how many yards I had. So you see that tree on the left finally made the Pro Bowl. Imagine that, right? I had to get 21 touchdowns just to make the Pro Bowl. And with that being said, since we went 6-10, our postseason is over. Like I had said too, this was a contract year for me. It was the last year of my contract, so I needed to make the Pro Bowl. I needed to make a statement, make that by getting those 21 touchdowns. And then, like I said, total 26 because of the receiving. So I'm going to simulate up into the Pro Bowl. And there it goes, the end to another video following TJ David on his path to the Hall of Fame. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon.